Previously, Mr. Edwards has been paying $2,300 a month, correct?
Yes, sir.
So the proposed reduction, do you think you'll be able to maintain the children's needs with that amount?
Their basic needs, possibly. It would be a very big burden on myself. I'm a school teacher and I make very much less per year than he is capable of. I feel like doing this to them after their entire lives having a lifestyle that met the lifestyle we had when we were married would be detrimental to them. And
So let me give you a little backstory here of this clip. Obviously, I can't play the full clip. It's over 20 plus minutes long. But this is one I've shown before. The woman is bringing her ex-husband back to court to fight for the amount of child support that she was receiving. Now, they've been divorced for years, like 8 to 10 years. Their kids, I believe there's 2 kids, are almost grown. One is 16 and one is 17. She wants to make sure she maximizes child support to the very end. In this situation, the guy had retired from the U.S. Border Patrol after over 20 years of service, and now he has his retirement income and not his full-time income. Therefore, he wants child support reduced. She's fighting it. It's just fascinating. It's just absolutely fascinating because it's all about keeping her in the lifestyle that she says she deserves. You know, they say that child support is for the child or children, and the judge will say that it's in their best interest. But when the money's gone and the bills are unpaid, you start to realize support isn't about the child. It's about her lifestyle, ultimately. And if you can't afford both, your survival doesn't matter. That's your problem. Let's talk about the promise of fairness in family court. Let's go back to the beginning. You're in family court. You think you're negotiating parenting, time, and what's actually best for the kids. But then support gets mentioned and everything changes. Suddenly they're running numbers, not based on what the child needs, but based on what she used to have when you lived under the same roof. It's crazy. In the clip I showed here, they had been divorced for years, and she was remarried. Didn't matter. She still was trying to get the same amount of child support and force him out of retirement. They say that the child should maintain the same standard of living after divorce. Sounds fair, right? Until you realize that standard of living isn't for the child. It's for her. I mean, do you really think this situation here with this woman in the clip was about the children? Not at all. If she's, the question I always think of, is she working? How much is she working? Would she be willing to itemize for you where child support is spent each month? Wouldn't 50-50 custody be more fair and in the best interest of the child, especially financially? Good luck with that. What we're talking about here is income transfer disguised as morality. Let's break down what this really is. It's not support. It's a lifestyle subsidy. She keeps the house in many cases. She gets the car. She gets primary custody, all decision-making for the children. She gets child support and maybe spousal support as well. You get a court order. You get a second job. You get a notice when you're behind, a threat actually. You get jail if you fall too far behind. And what do they say? It's for your child. But your kid isn't wearing designer clothes. Your kid isn't eating at 5-star restaurants. Not that they need to. but she is. It's about power, not parenting. This isn't parenting. It's about the court preserving her comfort at your expense. It's absolute lunacy. Think about it. If you were still a married couple, you'd have ups and downs financially. Your financial situation would ebb and flow, it would change based on the situation. Your lifestyle would change, but not in family court once you're divorced. The system doesn't give a damn if you're drowning in debt, if you can't make rent, if you're choosing between gas and groceries, because the state, the system, sees you as a walking ATM anyways. And the faster they get their cut from your paycheck, the less they care about whether you survive. In fact, they'll tell you, get another job, cut back on luxuries. While she sits in the house you paid for, driving a car you still owe money on, spending time with your kids, which she has 90+% of the time anyways, while you work overtime just to stay out of jail. The court doesn't audit her spending. Let me ask you this. Who tracks where that child support goes each month? No one. No one gives a damn. There's no itemized receipts. There's no accountability. There's no enforcement for misuse. She could be getting Botox, going on girls' weekends, paying off credit cards she racked up after the divorce, and the court, silent, couldn't care less, because they don't care if the child gets new clothes or what have you, as long as she gets to keep the life she had with you. Her lifestyle is legally protected. Yours is expendable. When survival becomes the sacrifice, what happens when the numbers don't add up? You pay child support, but your rent's late. You work 60 hours a week, but you still can't save a dime. You can't take your own kid to dinner, but she's posting cocktails on Instagram. And if you fall behind, interest, penalties, wage garnishment, and possibly jail time. There is no sympathy for you. None. No flexibility, no humanity, because the system is built on one foundational lie. If he struggles, he's just not working hard enough. Even if you're breaking your back, working 60+ hours a week. So here's the reality of it. Child support, in many cases, isn't about the child. It's about control. It's about money. It's about funding her lifestyle, funding the system with your future. And until the law demands accountability for how child support is spent each month, ends support orders based on lifestyle, and stops punishing poverty like it's a crime, you're not a co-parent until that ends. You're a financial hostage. Her lifestyle matters more than your survival. And the system is built to keep it that way. It's very profitable. You pay, she thrives, and your kid, just a pawn in the game. Guys, if this message was of benefit to you, if it helped you, hit that subscribe button for me now. Support the channel. I'd really appreciate you supporting the channel by subscribing. Share this message with other guys who need to hear it, who may be in a similar situation and need support. It's about men advocating for men. We need to demand reform. Know your worth. Protect your peace.